You know how it's like a thing on Minecraft YouTube where creators will just always make new worlds, a bunch of episode 1s, a lot of stuff that kind of goes unfinished, a bunch of perfect starts, all that kind of stuff. And I get it, right? Like, I'm guilty of it myself. People love a new series. People love an episode 1. Today, I'm going to do something a little different, though, okay? Instead of starting a brand new world, a new episode 1, I'm going to go back to one of my old worlds. And I'm going to go back to the world that kind of started everything with this channel. Hardcore Minecraft Season 2. The last build that was made on this world was December 14th, 2023, so just over 2 years ago. And the first episode on the world was posted July 25th, 2022. So like 3.5 years ago. So mainly in this video, I'm just going to be kind of walking around this world, kind of refamiliarizing myself with it. But if you'd like to see more videos in the future where I return back to this world and record a couple episodes and build some new things, please let me know by potentially hitting that like button or just leaving a comment if it's something you would like to see. But without further ado, man, Hardcore Minecraft Season 2. It feels so weird to be back in this world, man. Hardcore Minecraft Season 2. Got Bold and Brash still as my totem. What an interesting time this was on the channel, man. I miss this world. This is still my longest running world ever. I don't think I've ever passed 1,500 days on anything else. And we built a lot of cool stuff. I think to start here, I'm just gonna take like a quick tour to kind of remind myself of everything. A tour is definitely needed. I forgot where a lot of the little things are in this world. I mean, I remember a lot of these bigger builds, but some of these other ones, not so much. But man, here's the starter house. Let's peel back. I still like the starter house. I kind of feel like it still holds up. Maybe I would have made this a little bit better now, but I think this thing's still pretty decent. I was a really big fan back in the day of having leaves like on the roof. I did that in a whole bunch of different spots. I don't really do that anymore. I feel like it looks kind of funny. Like that looks kind of weird, but it was kind of my style back then. But inside, I think I have a parrot in here, right? Yeah, right here. My man Crisco. What's good, man? How you been?
Please feed me. It's been 1,500 days.
Yeah, dude. What's up? This was my original storage. All these are empty because I moved my storage. But I had everything like crammed into all these barrels. There's one random end rod. I think I put this here accidentally once, and I just left it. The upstairs isn't very decorated. There's like a small fireplace, if I remember. I have a couple of these, or just one of these, I guess. One skeleton skull, and this was the bedroom and the enchanting setup. But I moved the enchanting table. Oh, I also have 2 cats, Gandalf the Grey and Belle. What's up, guys? This was supposed to be my first set of iron armor. Very real chance it's not, actually. What are these pants enchanted with? Prot 4, Unbreaking 3, and Mending? Yeah, that's definitely not my first pair of iron armor. Got ourselves a little balcony. We can see the whole area. Wow, and the first castle I made. Okay, we'll get up there eventually. Oh, I got a goat horn. Yeah. I put that above the door, I guess. We built this farm as well, I think, in the first episode. I still like these farms. I mean, this is a pretty easy design with the walls, like, being all out of stone. It's a really simple way to make a farm, and I think it still looks really solid. But we have a few of these sprinkled around. This is like the farming district of my whole area. Here's my barn. Still a pretty big fan of this barn design as well. Pretty good living conditions, to be honest. They each have a pretty nice field attached to them. I don't really do this anymore. I usually just confine them inside. I should probably start doing this a little bit more. And upstairs, I think there's an auto wool farm up here. There is. There's a whole bunch of different colors. Or are these all the same color? Yeah, I was just collecting white wool and red wool, I guess. But I'm pretty sure I have a whole bunch of orange wool somewhere. Did I not collect orange wool for a while? I think it was orange and black for a minute. I have no idea where that is. Maybe I used it all. I think I did use it all on a build. I probably should have just made a wool farm for every wool color, but I don't know. I don't know why I didn't think of that. This is completely out of order of like when I built these things, but I do want to pop over this direction to one of my favorite builds on this world, and that is the quarry back here. These pathways definitely need some work, but they're fine. I just kind of put these in pretty hastily, but it's all right. I still love this quarry build. The crane pisses me off a little because I never put a counterweight on it. It's just here. In my head, I kind of imagined there was some like mechanism with this, so it didn't need a counterweight. You could just like pull it down somehow, and all these different, I don't know, contraptions would pull up the whatever you're trying to pull up. I probably should have put a counterweight on. I got a couple comments about it, and I just never did. I was a little stubborn. I was like, no, it doesn't need one, but it absolutely does. But I still really like this quarry. I don't even know if I can make this now, to be honest. Some of these builds I look back on, I'm like, man, how did I actually do that? Like, I feel like I kind of cooked, like entered flow state a little bit with some of these. Because these are nice. They're definitely nice. I mean, a beacon helped for sure to mine out this whole area. In most of my worlds now, I don't have a beacon, so I probably wouldn't have even tackled this. But this is actually where I've been gathering all of like my deep slate and stone and stuff. This is super dark in here. I don't have any more torches on me. There's going to be stuff spawning in here for sure. But I think there's like a way to get down to deep slate. Yeah, it's right here. There is water down there. Okay, so that's where I've been gathering all my deep slate. And there's enough room down there for a beacon to shine all the way up. But yeah, dude, I really like this build. This quarry is really sick. I think this was a cool addition to the area. And this is where I've been storing all my stone. This building's alright. It's not phenomenal. And the chests are kind of just like here. But this is where I've been storing my stone blocks. It's fine. It works. Let's pop up to this first castle. Man, this thing isn't great. But I built this castle without any plan at all. Actually, I'm just going to use free cam. I built this castle with absolutely no plan. And, you know, this was the first video I made that got, like, any type of, like, real traction. I remember this video getting, like, a couple thousand views after the first few weeks of it being out, and I was freaking out. This was also when I was still making Madden videos at the same time. So it took me forever to make the next episode after this one. It also just took me forever to finish this episode, just because I was working on Madden stuff at the same time. I do still like this castle. I don't know, there's some kind of charm to it. This feels like an OG Minecraft build, like an OG Minecraft castle. There's not too many good shapes going on. It's all just boxes. But I don't know, man. I like it. I definitely like it. This is where all my villagers are. Well, at least a lot of my villagers are. Most of my, like, really good villagers are up here. Not too much room to run around in these hallways. You could definitely tell this was not planned. You know, like a creative world first. But yeah, this is where I have a lot of my good, like, librarians, efficiency 4. We got mending. We have 2 mending trades on this guy. We got silk touch over there, sharpness, unbreaking 3, and eluding 3. So a lot of really good trades there. A bunch of random stuff in this chest, I guess. And this also houses an iron farm. Whole bunch of iron in this chest. And there's probably a lot in these hoppers. Oh man, this thing has been running. I simply just have a ridiculous amount of iron on this world, because I will show you in a bit, but I have 2 iron farms, and they both run a lot. But yeah, like I said, I'll get to that second iron farm in a second. That one's pretty far away. I guess let's just kind of continue down this way. Let's hit up the storage room. Let's hit up the storage tavern. I think this is also a pretty sweet build. The entire basement of this is storage. And there's a lot of storage in here. This has kept me going this whole time, and probably could still continue to keep me going. A lot of these chests are empty. Maybe not a lot, but a decent amount of these chests are empty over here. The storage is not good. A lot of this stuff is just kind of here. Oh, there's my first wooden pickaxe, I think. No, wait, that can't be my first wooden pickaxe, because I have it displayed somewhere. I have no idea what this wooden pickaxe is, but that's there. Also a chicken. What's good? Yeah, the storage in here isn't really organized too well, but it's storage. It's worked for me. Upstairs of this build, the interior, pretty basic, but we have some spots for people to sit down and hang out at this tavern. And we also have some cups, a really, really wide cup, and then a pickle. So you don't really have great options. But I think this was definitely a cool build for what it was. This is very functional, and I spent a lot of time in that room. Now, this interior is a lot worse. I never really got to this one. Like, I did, but I kind of ran out of ideas. I'm pretty bad at interiors now, but I was even worse back here. There's just like nothing in this one. It's just sectioned off and then really empty, and there's a couple bushes. But this is my first wooden pickaxe. I didn't even name it. Wow, I'm lazy. And then this was supposed to be my first shield and my first diamond, but I don't think they are. I'm pretty positive this is actually my first wooden pickaxe, though. And I enchanted it after I beat the game. The dragon egg is here. We have a dragon head. I don't know why there's no boots down there, but there isn't. A random extra pair of elytra, some other stuff in here. There's a lot of decoration. This is supposed to be my first golden apple, my first diamond pickaxe. I don't know if this is true. I feel like this is definitely actually my first diamond pickaxe, since it is like half durability. That's probably my first. This was a cool idea. I just never really came back and did more to this build. This was supposed to be the museum, and like I was going to display a whole bunch of stuff, and I kind of just never did. But the idea was there. And now are you ready for potentially the most pointless building in this entire world? This building, and this was supposed to be here as a way to get up to that castle. Because at the time, there was no way to actually access the castle. The only way to get up there was to walk up the mountain or to fly or something. So I put this building here just to give myself away, and then I never did anything with it. So the only way to get up to the castle still is by just flying. I wanted to make like some underground tunnel here or something, but it just never happened once again. This was also back when each of these episodes I built up so many different things. Like I feel like there's a lot of stuff built up in this area, like more than what my current worlds are. Lately I've been spending a lot more time on each building. In this world, I was just kind of propping stuff up as often as I could. So a lot of these are very under detailed, but I don't know. There's definitely a type of charm to that. Like I really like what this area looks like. Even if it isn't super detailed, I think it just still looks incredibly solid. I mean, it is still very detailed. Like, these pathways are fairly good still. There's a lot of, like, foliage going around. And it kind of really feels immersive, at least to me. These trees can definitely use some work. But it's the thought that counts. There's a lot of custom trees in this area. Nearly every tree you can see. Oh, there's that one, too. That one, we'll talk about that one in a second. But nearly every, like, smaller tree you can see in this area is custom. I went crazy with the custom trees. It's just, the thing is, I never really got any better at making them by doing this. I wanted to get better at making custom trees by making up all of these, but they all just look like slightly better vanilla trees. I didn't really get too much better. But yeah, then this one. Okay, this was a super ambitious plan. I knew I wanted to have my nether portal in a massive tree, and like, this is the scale I wanted to go for. But I just didn't plan out anything. This was completely free-handed, and it looks really, really weird as a result. There's just like not much shape to this thing, and there's like no branches. I'm pretty sure there's only like 6 branches on this entire thing. It's not ideal, but it kind of looks cool from a distance, and I don't know, being underneath it and being like down here, if you just kind of look at the trunk, it looks pretty cool. But then you look up, and it doesn't look great. But I'm still kind of happy that I did this. I think it was a cool challenge to take on, and this kind of feels like an OG Minecraft build again, too. Like, before everyone got super, super good at building, I feel like this is something you would have seen back in the day. So, I don't know, there's some type of charm to that for sure. And that is still my nether portal, so it is functional, and I think it does look cool with the nether portal, like, sticking out of the tree. You can see, like, the glow every so often. We'll pop in there in a second, but I do want to continue exploring the village down here. This is another one of my all-time favorite builds. Not even just in this world, just in general. This whole farming village down here, this was a single episode. This took forever, but this was a single episode. All of these houses, all of the crop fields, the pathways connecting everything. This was all just like flat plains before this. And I still think a lot of these buildings kind of hold up. I'm pretty proud of a lot of these. I think the roofs could have been a little better, like at least on the towers. Like I probably should have peaked it up a little bit higher. But honestly, I don't want to be too picky. I feel like these are still pretty solid. There's a ton of wheat in this area. I really like the texture of wheat even still, so I used it mainly. We do have some like carrots and potatoes and stuff. And there's actually some villagers in here. I don't know if all of them are populated, but I know at least some of them are. Did I not make a way to get to this house? Is it just all surrounded by fields? No, surely not, right? I definitely made a doorway. Yeah, the doorway's right here. Good, okay. But yeah, there's some farming villagers in here. Some of them are actually traded with. It looks like this guy's trying to get a job. But for some reason, he's struggling. Go ahead. Just get off the chest. You're fine. You're not going to take damage. Dude, you're not going to take damage. Why are you being so weird about this? What if I destroy the chest? How long is this guy gonna stare at me? There we go. Okay, that was way too... I'm gonna leave. That was way too long. I feel like I wasn't supposed to see something in there. I'm putting the chest back, though. And it's just gonna go there. Whatever. I feel like I wasn't supposed to see something. Yeah, okay, they're having a moment. Alongside the houses, though, we have a couple different, like, stalls. Little trading stalls. This was a cool little thing with the fish and the food. I didn't have much food, like raw food, to choose from, so it's just fish. I think I just had this in my inventory for whatever reason. A lot of chests that are not filled with anything. That's a pretty common theme in this area. But this pathway does completely connect up pretty much everywhere. This is all walkable. Kind of nice, actually. Like, there's a whole connected pathway this whole area. Here's a little horse stable, which I think is adorable. I feel like I would build this now and be happy of it. I would build this now and be ecstatic. I think this build is still awesome. This is a gatehouse going into the eventual city that I never finished. But man, this gatehouse is sick still. Especially with like this castle in the background. I think that's a really cool backdrop. The only thing I would change about this probably is I would make this roof a little bit better and a little bit smoother. And then these roofs, I would probably peak up a little bit taller. And they're a tad bit bulky near the bottom, maybe, but I don't know. I don't want to pick this apart too much because I think this build is still incredible. I'm very happy with this, but it is the gatehouse to get into the city, which I only really made like one street for. And I also never waxed this copper up here. Yeah, as you can see, there's some copper that just fully oxidized. For some reason, I just didn't wax it. All of these interiors are actually done. And all of these buildings are functional. With what I do now, like, that's probably pretty hard to believe. Where's my way to get down? There's a way to get down everywhere. Here it is. Okay, so this one. Why did I not put water down there? What? Okay. This one is a bamboo farm, which has been running this entire time. Oh, maybe not so well, but it's been... Oh, there we go. It's getting picked up. This has been running whenever I'm in the area, and there's no way to get up, just except for flying. Man, why did I do that? I can't remember exactly what is in all of these. I think this one is a moss farm. Does this also not have water on the bottom? It does. I'm just gonna... I don't want to actually go down there. Yeah, this is a moss farm. And then the interior of this one, I want to say, if I remember, is like a crop farm, like an automatic villager crop farm. Water? No. Why? Why did I not do that? This one goes down pretty far too. That's a drop. There's water right here though. Anyway, yeah, this is an automatic crop farm. And then I really don't remember what this last one is. Oh, it's melons. Melons and pumpkins, for sure. Where's the way to get down? Here it is. Let's pop down there again, make sure I'm correct. Yeah, and I made it look like a little pumpkin. That's adorable. And I still like a lot of these houses too. I mean, they could use a little bit of work as well, but they're nice, like little medieval houses. I think they're kind of nice. This one isn't a farm. I built this one after. So these 4 houses, I want to say, were built in the same episode. At least a couple of them. I can't remember exactly, but a lot of these houses were built in the same episode as the gatehouse and the horse stable. So that's what I'm saying. I used to build so many things in each episode. This one is just a library, and I built this because of the chiseled bookshelves. These bookshelves were new at the time, so I built this to kind of show those off. I don't think there's any actual functionality to this build, but it just kind of looks nice. We have an upstairs that is incredibly crammed. Interesting table, too, with a dark prismarine. But just a ton of bookshelves and a little lantern design that I came up with the new pots. I think that was also new. This was when like the cherry wood and stuff came out, so I tried to use a lot of that stuff in here too. But then if you continue further, there's just a little like market stall area and a little like park that I feel like is a cool vibe. Even though these trees aren't great, still a pretty cool vibe back here. Man, and then we have the castle. And this is the first build I ever used Lightmatica for. I didn't do like any creative planning for this world at all. Kind of like my current worlds too. I really don't do any creative planning, just the occasional one here and there. But this was the first time I ever used Lightmatica, and this castle is a huge improvement over that one. I'll peel back here to kind of show it off. I didn't use like Axiom or anything. I actually just hand placed all of these blocks in a creative test world, and this thing I still think looks awesome. I'm honestly kind of jealous. This is a great castle. It's a really good, like, starter-worthy castle. I know it sounds insane because this thing is really big. It's not like a starter house or anything like that, but in terms of castles, it's relatively small. So I feel like this is a good second castle to have made. And you can see, like, the original terrain of this area is really awkward. I had to make it a little bit better. This was actually supposed to be the YouTube membership hall, I'm pretty sure. Like, the original YouTube membership area. Oh, a chicken! What's up, dude? How you doing? Yeah, I think this was supposed to be like the original YouTube membership area, and I just never finished it. That's like a common theme of this world. Had a bunch of cool ideas, a lot of ambitious ideas that I just never finished. I feel like that's pretty much everything in this area. There's still a lot more to this world, but I think that's everything in my starter area. And this is kind of what I was saying. Like, even though some of these builds aren't necessarily up to my standards now, I think from afar they all look pretty great. I'm a huge fan of this starter area. I'm actually going to view it from the top of the castle. I think this is a good view. But I'm a really big fan of this starter area. This is one of my favorite builds probably ever, if you can consider this just all one build. Because it is all interconnected, you know? Like, this pathway does kind of go all the way over there. This kind of feels like an alive world to me. Like, if I were to have built up that city, which maybe I can do if I keep playing on this world. But if I built up that city as big as I wanted to go, this would have felt like a little village outside of the city walls. Like, that was the vibe I was going for. I wanted to make walls around this massive city over here. And I wanted this to be like a little farming village area, just outside of the city walls. And I think that would have been captured really nicely if I had actually just continued. Man, it feels so nostalgic being back here. That's just a mob farm that looks awful, so we're not gonna go up there. I will fly this way though, to one of my other favorite build ideas. I have a Halloween village over here. So this world spanned at least 2 Halloweens. I don't know if it was a third one, but each of those Halloweens I added to this village. That was like the themed episode of October in each of those years. The first one was like this left half over here with all these like smaller houses. I'm just gonna land down and walk around the whole thing. So the first one was all these like smaller houses, and these are very, very under detailed because I did this whole thing in one episode and I was still working full time and everything, didn't really have too much free time. I was only really playing like an hour to an hour and a half each time I logged on. So there's no interiors to any of these. There's a piece of black concrete down here. But yeah, there's no interiors to any of these. But I still think these houses are pretty dope. Like they have a cool like fantasy, like medieval style to them, with the roofs being all weird and super colorful. I think this is where I realized I really liked using colorful blocks and roofs. This kind of like awakened me to like my current build style. Yeah, these are pretty cool. I like these little houses. There's a huge missed opportunity to name this Scare Cow. I don't know why I didn't do that, but it's named Scarecrow. This is supposed to be a little pumpkin patch. And then down this way, I think the gatehouse was in the same video as all these little houses over here. We have this little gatehouse, which still looks pretty dope to me too. It's a little cramped. Like I feel like I should have widened it a little bit, but I think these roofs are cool. The orange going into the black. It's just a cool little vibe. We have a little cemetery over here too. Not super decorated, but I did my best. But then I expanded this village in an episode a year later, where we have this huge building, which I don't even know what this was supposed to be for, but it has this like little underpass. I should have put a roof on the inside. Why didn't I do that? But it has a little walkthrough to like this little garden, and these spruce trees are not good. Wow. Those need some work. Then alongside that huge building, there is a bunch of bigger houses and a pond. In this whole area, there's probably like 6 of these houses. 6 or maybe the next number. Not saying it. You can keep going down here too, though. Like this whole area is nice and connected. And I think there's a farm over here that looks like a little bit deteriorated. I like this farm design too. It's mostly potatoes, but then there's a little bit of like pumpkins sprinkled in. There's some like bushes, like not cherry bushes. What are these called? I'm gonna remember it. Hold on. Sweet berries. Did it immediately. I didn't spend any time thinking about that. Sweet berries. There's also just some other like coarse dirt patches, a couple pieces of grass. This is a pretty cool looking farmland, I think. And then it connects up to the gatehouse. There's a couple other like smaller trees as well in the area, which look way better than the big ones. This was still when I was using fences only for branches as well. I've definitely upped my custom tree game for sure, because if I fly over to this one, dude, this one on the left here is awful. Man, has some charm to it though. I don't know, there's something about it. There really is. This build's really cool though. It doesn't serve any actual purpose, but it just looks cool in the middle of this taiga. I'm gonna stay in this area for now. We're not gonna pop into the Nether just yet because there's another build off in this direction. But over here in this like spruce forest is a Coliseum, which at the time I thought this was okay. And honestly, looking back on it now, I feel like it's a little bit better than okay. I think this is better than I gave it credit for. The texturing is pretty solid. Like there's a good gradient going on here, I think. Old Shremmy kind of cooked with this a little bit. But this is a totem farm, which I don't even know if this works. The way that the construction of this went is I built the entire farm first, and then I tested it out to see if it worked, and then I built the Coliseum. And in that first test, I got all the totems that I ever needed. So honestly, I have not ran this farm since this whole Coliseum has been built. I'm incredibly certain that if I tried to run this, stuff would spawn everywhere because I probably did not spawn proof up here correctly. I did try to. There's a bunch of half slabs up here, but there's probably some areas for stuff to spawn. But anyway, the reason I built this here is because there's a pillager outpost right down this way. Oh, and that's spawn. We might as well just head over there. I can't see it. It's over here somewhere. There it is. So there's a pillager outpost over there. Go get all your bottles, or at the time I think it was just Bad Omen. Ow! Dude, leave me alone. I'm recording. At the time, it was just Bad Omen. It wasn't even bottles, but you can go get Bad Omen over there, run over here, start a raid. It worked that one time. I didn't need it for anything other than that. But since we're here, we might as well go to spawn. This is my iron factory. This is that second iron farm I was talking about. I don't know why I felt the need to make a second one. I never needed that much iron. You saw how much that first one produced that I didn't use. But I wanted to have a farm just running all the time. I think this is still in the spawn chunks. I hope so. This spawn did not look anything like this. When I started this world, there was a pretty massive mountain in this area. I had to clear the whole thing out. And this is one of the last things I built. This might be the last thing I built in the world. This is the most recent build, I think, in this entire world. And I was trying to work on a little bit of texturing techniques and a little bit of shading. You know, it got a little bit darker up top there. There's some colors that don't really work together, but it's fine. It's the thought that counts. I have some random acacia in there, I guess. But from far away, it looks pretty decent. I'm still pretty happy with this build. I think it mostly holds up. I like using the pots in these little, like, tubes. I just wish this didn't blend in so much with, like, the granite in the background. But there's some, like, little copper tubes all over the place. I might have spawn-proofed this whole area out here because golems kept spawning just outside. I'll show you the inside in a second, but there's these two rooms on the side that are just storage, and I think I have a bunch of iron in one of these. I don't remember which one it is. It's probably the second one. I think the second one's easier to get to from the front door of the iron farm, so hold on. It's gotta be this one. Oh, that's dirt. Do I not have iron? I swear I have iron in one of these. I'll find all that iron here in a second, but let's pop into the actual iron farm itself, like the main part of the building. This interior I still think looks really good. I would make this now, probably. A lot of room in here. This kind of feels like it's a facility of some type, I guess. I was just going for like an iron facility, right? There's a bunch of iron blocks, a lot of raw iron blocks. And then back here, through this little area, is the actual iron farm itself. And is there a chest over here somewhere? There should be. Yeah, this is all completely filled as well. Let me actually find my iron storage. I swear it's over here. I have so much stone storage in here. Pretty sure this was like the mountain that we took down. There's also a little bit of cobblestone back here and some dirt. There's not too much dirt, but there's a lot of regular stone in these chests. There's not a chance I would have put it in the room that is only accessible if you walk around the building. Okay, there's all the poppies. I guess it is back here. Why would I have put it back here? Yeah, there's all the iron. Why did I put it back here? Wait, these aren't even double chests. Why are these not double chests? Yeah, so like I was saying, I have a lot of iron in this world. A little bit of this chest too. I have a ton. This is why I don't really know why I felt the need to make a second iron farm. I don't think I could ever use that much iron if I tried. I think I just wanted to transform spawn and I just had no idea what to put here, so just kind of figured an iron farm was pretty easy. But yeah, I definitely did not need this. Over here, though, is supposed to be a squid farm, but it doesn't work. And I'm honestly still not exactly sure why. Squids just don't really spawn in here. Let's see if I have any ink sacs down here. Probably not. Oh, we got some. Wait, hold on. Maybe this thing works better than I thought. This has been running for a really long time. This is really bad rates. But we got some squid. All right, I guess it could be worse. Where's the way out? Okay, it's right there. Here we go. Hold on. Wait. There we go. First try. I think that's everything that's in this immediate area. And if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure I spawned like right here. Wow. Feels weird being back here. Look at this. Pretty sure I spawned here and I punched one of these trees. The leaves are even still here. Wow. That's crazy. Let me pop into the Nether though. This should take me to the Nether roof. And it does. Oh man, I don't know what direction I have to go in. Do you know where to go? Oh, it's that way. That was easy. This is my Nether hub. And I remember at the time that I built this thing, I was so happy. I thought this was my best build ever. And it definitely was at the time. It's still pretty good, to be honest. Like, it's really not bad. I built this all again freehand, just placing down blocks, trying to find a cool shape and stuff. And this thing's still pretty good. There's not honestly too much I would change about this. So, you know what? This thing still gets a pass. I love this. But if you pop in, most of this interior is also done, which is also pretty shocking for me. The first floor is all done. Where did this block go? That's definitely supposed to be netherrack. Oh, well. The first floor is all done down here. And it's just like one hallway that surrounds everything. And then it is this main room, which is where the nether portal goes. This goes to the tree. So this is like my starter area. And I think this room still looks pretty cool. It's a dope little room. You know, you got a big table. Got a bunch of paintings. Got some animals. Got an iron golem, you know. The gang's all here. And then there's not really too much going on in any of these other rooms. So let's pop back out again. And let's hit up another one of these nether portals. Let's go this way. Because this right there is a guardian farm. And you can see where I started to try to make this, like not killing, like completely automatic. And then I gave up after placing 2 double chests and 2 hoppers. So we got pretty far. This is almost done. Let me pop into this nether portal though, because this will actually take me to the guardian farm on the overworld. The reason I never wanted to finish that is because I just kept using this as my experience farm, because this is an incredible experience farm. So the guardian farm is on these floating islands. And this is also one of my favorite builds in this world. I've said that a lot. I like a lot of the builds in this world. Mainly because they make me feel just very nostalgic, but also because they're actually not that bad. Like I said with the quarry, like I kind of cooked with some of these. This one's pretty good. I kind of misplaced the tower though, because this is how you get down to the farm. I'm probably going to build this again in another world. This farm is incredible. You get so much experience, and if you just wait like 2 seconds, you'll see why. There they come. All the guardians are just going to pop through. You get so many guardians, like, really quickly. There's still more. And just swipe them all once. You get just a stupid amount of experience from this farm. You also get a stupid amount of drops. I have so much of these prismarine crystals and prismarine shards, and just infinite raw cod. And there's more. This thing fills up ridiculously fast. This farm is incredible. I think it's by ENX04, if I'm not mistaken. So if you want to build this farm yourself, you definitely can. This thing is awesome. This is one of my favorite experience farms ever, and the reason I built it is because Dark Prismarine is still one of my favorite blocks in the game. I just haven't built with it recently because it's so annoying to get if you don't have a farm for it. Like, if you're trying to get it normally, it's, like, impossible. I'm gonna sleep up here because it is very dark and spooky on the ground. I can't believe I almost forgot. There's still 2 more builds in this world that I haven't showed off. At least 2 more. There could even be more. One of these might be a little bit hard to find because I have a bunch of portals on the nether roof and I didn't label any of them. I feel like it's this one though. I think it's in the same direction as the guardian farm, like from spawn. Like there's the guardian farm right there. I think it's this one. It is not this one. This is nothing. This is just a Badlands biome. Let's try this one right here. Yes, it's this one. Okay, I was almost right. This was kind of in the same direction. So in this video, I wanted to make villages that don't exist. So I made a birch village and a dark oak village. And I made them in the same area because the biomes spawn so close to each other. But here's my birch village. I went pretty big with the houses. And I think they look good, but I probably should have made some smaller houses as well to make it feel more like a Minecraft village. And this was supposed to be like a school in the back. I think I called this a school and I just never actually made it one. The idea here was that this was supposed to be like good magic. That's why there's like floating crystals and stuff. So it was going to be like a magic school, like a good magic school. And then the dark oak forest was going to be like evil magic, like dark magic. I don't know why they'd be this close to each other if they had such polarizing views on magic, but they are. This dark oak village still looks pretty dope. I think they both look pretty good, but I like the dark oak one a lot. I think this was supposed to be either like a library or that school, whatever, to study the dark magic. These houses are pretty cool. I tried to go with the vibe of like a bunch of stacked houses on top of each other, and I think I did a pretty good job with that. These are both also in the same episode again, so another one where I just went crazy building so many things. There's also this little garden in the middle with some mushrooms, and look at these little brown mushrooms, man. They're so cute. They're so stupid looking too, but I love them. The red ones are pretty decent. I think they're an upgrade over the vanilla ones. I probably could have done these better if I spent a lot more time on them. I tried to make more mushrooms in the most recent like dark oak 100-day video I made, and I struggled there too. So maybe I'm just not great at making mushrooms. I feel like if I really spent the time, I could probably do it though. And then what I think might be the last build, unless I'm missing one, is back in this area. I forgot this when I was going over my starter area, but in this cave, there is another village. So I wanted to make a bunch of villages that didn't exist. I planned on doing that with like almost every biome that doesn't have one, but I only managed to get to 3. So we did the birch, we did the dark oak, and then in another video, I did this cave village down here. And this one's cool. This cave village gives a sick vibe. It's not very safe. I didn't really light it up all too well. But yeah, it's like a whole bunch of just connected houses around this little like pond. This little like lush pond. And I think it's really sick. I also never cut down these glowberries. I never remembered that you could. So there's just glowberries growing like crazy. Also, none of these really have... Oh, wait, actually, no, there is something in here. This is my super smelter. Yeah, this is actually functional. I forgot I built a super smelter down here. Wow, look at that. This whole place is just for that one little super smelter. The rest of these are completely empty. Most of them don't even have interiors. There's a lot of just facades going on. But this is a cool area. This is a really cool area. I don't know why I dug back a little bit, as if you could even tell that that was dug back 2 blocks. But I put some like shroom lights in the windows to make it look like they're occupied and bigger than they are. But yeah, this is a cool little spot. This was just a nice cave that we found pretty early on. And I kind of knew I always wanted to put something down here. And this was my idea. So I think it's a pretty good use of space. There's also not a way to get in and out. You kind of just have to fly. This was super fun though, coming back to this world, seeing everything that I built so many years ago. I guess let me know in the comments. Let me know maybe by hitting that like button as well, if you would like to see me back on this world for another couple episodes, maybe just to kind of finish off some of this stuff. Maybe just finish some of the ideas that I had at the time. I would like to keep working on that city over there. That would probably be where I'd go. So if that's something you would like to see, please let me know. But anyway, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.